So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. In our last video, we began with the history, the foundation, and the genesis of the marital rift between professional footballer Kayode Kayode and his now estranged wife, Dora. In today's video, we will be going further and deeper, analyzing the alleged involvement of swagalicious Pastor Toby in this whole crisis. It is worthy of note to mention at this juncture that Pastor Toby has now been sued by Kayode to pay 1 billion naira in damages for committing adultery with his wife. Oh my God. May Edochie, come forward. Can you see what you have cost? Because of you, everybody now knows of the law on monetary compensation for adultery. And now Su is going on everywhere. 100 million, 1 billion. It's alright. Wahala for those with their own spouse. Now university undergraduates, then cheat with. University undergraduates will never see food chop. Woe betide you, that is who your own spouse went to cheat with. Shishi, you no go see. God help you. God is your muscle. So we're going to dive right into this topic. But before we do, if you're new here, you have seen my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up already. Start to give it a thumbs up now. Kia. Drop all your comments down in the comment section, because in this video, oh my God, it's going to be so revealing, so enlightening. We're going to be revealing secrets. And stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. Without further ado, let us dive right into this video. Pastor Toby is a Nigerian pastor. He is the founder of the Salvation Proclaimers Anointed Church, SPAC Nation, a now defunct Pentecostal church which was domiciled or based in London. He is the cousin of British actor and superstar John Bamidele Adegboyega. Pastor T moved from Lagos to London in 2005, shortly after graduating from the Ogun State University. He began life hustling as a kitchen porter at an eatery in England. 3 years after he arrived in London, 2008 precisely, he floated his own church. He started out with a 3-member congregation, and his church was located in Croydon, South London. During service, Pastor Toby would encourage criminals and gang members to come forward to the altar and drop their weapons. He said that he had been charged by God to help black people in London who were criminals and gang members submit their life to Christ and turn a new leaf. While a few people criticized his style, a majority applauded him for his good works. Pastor T has been involved in a very few scandals here and there, mostly financial. In 2019, British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, published an investigation on Pastor T, accusing him and other leaders of his church of financially exploiting their congregation.
He preaches a form of prosperity gospel, a belief that God rewards the faithful with material wealth.
They interviewed a few members of the church who accused the pastor of ripping them off financially to fund his lavish lifestyle.
I basically asked what's happening, why do I have a loan in my name, and they basically said the loan was for the greater good and they were going to use the money to buy a bigger trap house.
A member of the church who goes by the name Nino claimed that Pastor Toby had asked him for a whopping £20,000, which he needed for some investment. Well, the church denied all of these allegations. By January of 2020, Pastor Toby's church was accused of financial exploitation and fraud by Croydon Minister of Parliament. And after a series of many other allegations bordering on financial misappropriation, fraud, domestic and sexual abuse against the church, in June of 2022, the Spark Nation Church was ordered by the UK government to shut down after it allegedly failed to account and give a record of over £2 million. Aside from these allegations of fraud leveled on Pastor Toby's church, as an individual, Pastor Toby has come under several criticism and scrutiny for what they term a large, luxurious and unchristian lifestyle. I mean, Pastor Toby lives in an 8-bedroom mansion in a private estate in London. He owns 6 Lamborghinis, a Rolls Royce, a Range Rover Sport, a Ferrari, amongst other luxurious cars. He wears the most expensive jewelry, designer clothing, hanging out with hip-hop and Afrobeat stars, attending London Fashion Weeks and all the fashion shows. No, Pastor Toby is not your regular pastor. Call him Daddy G.O. with the sauce. Call him man of God with a bling. Call him anointed with full maintained steeze and composure. That is exactly who Pastor Toby is, and he is completely unapologetic about it. While some people have criticized and condemned Pastor Toby, describing his lifestyle as vain and unrelatable to a true Christian pastor who should appear pious and modest, Pastor Toby does not agree with that thinking at all. He revealed in an interview that one of his major challenges as a pastor is this expectation of him by people to look plain and boring, and that is not him. He further explained that his lifestyle is funded by the chains of hundreds of businesses that he runs, including real estate business and crypto business, amongst others. Pastor Toby is married to Lucy Oluwatosin. They have been married for over a decade and they have children. When Ezinne moved out of the home that she shared with Kayode and relocated to Abuja with their children, and then went ahead to serve her husband divorce papers, Kayode claimed that he was taken unawares. He said that it dawned on him even more when that same week he got a credit alert from his father-in-law returning his bride price to him. Remember that in his response to the petition that Ezinne had filed seeking a dissolution of their marriage, he claimed that 1. Ezinne had financially misappropriated his monies and properties. 2. Ezinne had committed fraud and has disposed of his belongings without his knowledge. And 3. The elephant in the room, that Ezinne was in a romantic and sexual relationship with Pastor Toby, a relationship that he claimed was public and open, glaring for everyone to see, and that part of his money, she lavished it on him. These are his claims. While we try to grapple with this news, to digest this news, wondering how a pastor is married with children, Ezinne is married with children, what is happening? This is so difficult for us to swallow. A recorded voice note conversation allegedly had between Ezinne Dora, the wife of Kayode, and Pastor Toby was published online. Let us listen very intently to this very interesting voice notes.
So bad that I just woke you up again.
You didn't wake me up. Stop making this. Stop making me even feel more bad. You did not wake me up. It's my birthday. Yes. Let me tell you something. Yeah? You always feel that you can always tell me, like, I need you to take a rest. Do you honestly feel that I don't want to rest? See, when was the last time I spoke with you? You didn't think that I didn't call you because I wanted to rest. My balloon girls, they actually slept in my home. Everybody is up in this house. Everybody, as I'm talking to you. I've been awake since 12 mid-morning. You think people would not call, you think you deliberately didn't want to call me in order to give people chance to call me. What's that? That's heartbreaking. Like, you think I want to hear their voice before yours? The last time we spoke was in the evening. I just left you. The last message, like, we chatted. I've been sleeping.
I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say, man.
Fine.
Alright, Tracy.
Infidelity, in fact, sexual connections in general, differs for a man in very significant proportions from a woman. Truly, a man's infidelity can purely be physical, purely be sexual. Doesn't excuse it, no, doesn't make it any better, but really, it can be purely physical, purely sexual, purely transactional. No emotions, no connections. And that is why a man can easily meet a girl at a friend's place, a party, a bar, a club, take her home and do the do. And trust me, he's not spending the next day at work thinking about the girl, how she's doing and how she's faring, and wondering if she's thinking about him too. He may feel absolutely nothing. But for a woman, it's different. The connection a woman forms is first emotional before sexual. And that is why it is always said and preached that sex for a woman does not begin in the bedroom. It begins from the tiny little many gestures that are shown throughout the day that would emotionally and mentally prepare the woman for the action at night. But for a man, it begins when the two bodies hit the bed. Listen, drag your ear, draw your ear, sellotape one ear in the south, sellotape the other one in the west. We are talking real adult stuff, real life issues. An average woman, an average single or married woman may not be drawn to sleeping with a random guy that says hello to her at the club or that winks at her at the gas station. She would first slowly get entangled with the man who is in an emotional arena or space with her ex-boyfriend, her boss at work, and how he commands that respect every day in the office. A colleague at the office who is so helpful and considerate and commends her nails and her hair every day, even when her man never noticed. Her pastor, her classmates, her gym buddy, that tall, dark and handsome neighbor friend who goes around spreading his charm, or that her platonic friend whom they catch up for lunch and he makes her laugh. These are the kinds of men a woman is more likely to have a sexual relationship with than a random stranger. It's two different things for a man and a woman. So a woman will build these emotional connections with the man that she will eventually sleep with, but a man may not. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, the first stage of infidelity for most women, don't quote me on exceptions, I always say that, for most women, whether single or married, is one that is called emotional infidelity, which then transcends and grows to a sexual relationship. So there is that guy, sweet, slick and nice, very attentive, very patient, very pleasant. He asks questions, he listens, he is never in a hurry. He shows concern, he shows up for you, he is charismatic. He gives compliments and tells you how that dress fits like second skin and how that hair looks gorgeous and that makeup, oh my God. Compliments that your man forgets to give. He notices every little detail. He sends gifts, even if it's just a pack of lunch. He understands. He never complains. He does not get upset or offended. He's handsome. He has solutions. Oh my God. He has solutions. He notices. He is sweet. He is every goddamn thing your man isn't. And slowly but steadily, your eyes begin to roll back. You subconsciously begin to compare how your husband or your man, your boyfriend, handles things to to how Femi will have handled it. Oh, if it was Femi, he would have been so soft. And then you begin to think of him more. You begin to replay the conversations that you have had in your quiet times. Harmless flirtation here and there. You smile at the thought of his jokes. You can't wait to see him again. You begin telling him some secrets. He now becomes your shoulder and your solace when you fight with your man. And then you begin to chat him at odd hours. You remember and relish the effort he puts in wearing that sweet masculine cologne, while your husband will just carry belly like Mr. Ibu, roaming around the house with his fisherman singlets. Your man begins to annoy you. You begin craving for Femi's calls and texts and start getting upset when they don't come. You tell him what you are putting on, and then sexting might begin. At some point, you begin to feel a little sting of jealousy down there when you see him with other people, other girls. Flashes of how his kiss may feel begins to cross your mind. Even deeper thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to emotional infidelity. The very brink, just the edge, the beginning and the end of a sexual affair. The final phase of an actual infidelity by a woman. It is a very dangerous phase. I may be wrong, I may be right, but if this phone conversation that we just heard actually happened between Ezinne and Pastor Toby, then I may not be overreaching to assume that some form of emotional infidelity happened between the two. The voice, the entitlement, the want and the need, the care, the explanation, the expectation. It shows a connection from my assessment. It may not be sexual. I will not blatantly say what I do not have evidence of, and you know that. There isn't evidence to show that this emotional infidelity crystallized to a sexual affair. So it may have ended in emotional, or it may have gone further. But for now, what I can see for sure is some form of emotional attachment. Most women, whether married or single, get into this due to three major reasons. One, when she feels undervalued, unappreciated, and ignored by her man. Women are emotional beings, and when there is an emotional void, she would seek to fill it. Some feel it with their children, some feel it with a hobby or whatever, some feel it with other people. Two, when she has constantly been cheated on and she feels the need to get even, to pay back, a payback mission, this might originate. And three, when she has complained about something, a character flaw, for so long and there has not been any improvement, her spouse has not made any effort to work on that complaint, she drifts away emotionally and becomes emotionally unavailable to that man while longing to open a new emotional attachment with another person. Sometimes, in many cases, when you go overboard and you now get to know Femi up close and personally, you may now find out that Osas at home with his fisherman, his butcher's shimmy, is better than fantastic Femi, than fantasy Femi. But now the deed is done, and then you're crying and you're regretting. Be careful. Now let us go into this case. Before we wrap up with this case, let us go down into the comment section. This is a free zone. We're allowed to air our opinion without fear, without victimization. Anybody that bothers anybody in the comment section because of the experience, we yank that person off. That person is not worthy to be in our midst. Here, we air our experiences without prejudice. Let us know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, about emotional infidelity. Has it ever happened to you before as a woman or as a man? How did you handle it? Do you think it's a situation that one should discuss with one's spouse? To the men, is sexting and all of that with another man a deal breaker for you? Is it an offense that you can forgive, considering that there hasn't been any physical sexual intercourse? Or for you, is it a no-no? Tell us what you think about emotional infidelity and everything I have just explained down in the comment section. Now for Kayode and Ezinne. Kayode has sued Pastor Toby for 1 billion naira in damages for committing adultery with his wife. What I can say is I do hope he has more evidence aside from this voice note. Because legally speaking, emotional infidelity is not adultery, no matter how deep it went. Even if nudes were exchanged, even if sex talk was done, it is not adultery. It can come under other grounds of divorce, but it cannot be categorized as adultery. What counts as adultery in matrimonial cases is physical sexual intercourse. So even if this might be painful to bear for anybody, both for male and female, legally speaking, this will not count as adultery. This voice note standing on its own. If he hopes to pursue an adultery claim against Pastor Toby, I do hope he has more substantial, provable, admissible evidence that can be tendered in courts, not this voice note. I will be on the lookout for this case. I am very tempted to say, I hope they fix things. I hope they resolve their differences. If not for anything, for the sake of these 3 little lovely, perfect children that do not even know what is happening. I think the first child is about 10, 11. He's confused. He doesn't know what's happening. And now these children will be the ones to suffer the brunt of their parents' separation. I do hope they kind of find a middle ground. But if it is God's will that the separation happens, well, I do wish both of them the very best. My eyes will be on the case. I'll keep following up. And if there are any new facts, if there are any new revelations, be sure that I will be the first to bring it to your knowledge. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, seen my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up already. Drop all your thoughts down in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about emotional infidelity? What do you think about this case between Kayode and Dora? Do you think it can be salvaged? How do you think this case can be managed? Drop everything, all the way you feel, down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.